Hey yo, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to what I hope to be the start of a series I have planned for this channel, where I am going to play every single Resident Evil game and share my thoughts about it. So, to start off, I want to share a little bit about my history with this franchise. So, before 2019, I really hadn't played many Resident Evil games. I think I played like the intro to 4, and then probably like half of 7 when it came out. But other than that, I hadn't really touched the Resident Evil franchise at all. However, that all changed in late 2019 when my buddy introduced me to the Resident Evil 2 remake. And from then on, I was hooked. I instantly fell in love with that game. I have hundreds of hours in it. And then, a few months after that, the Resident Evil 3 remake came out. And I picked that up, fell in love with it. And then, the rest of 2020 happened, which kind of gave me the opportunity to just go back and binge most of the franchise. And I've been a fan ever since. And so for the past couple of years, I've actually been trying to collect every single physical copy of each game. And I actually only have a couple left. But during that, I decided I want to try to play all of them and make a series about it. And so today we're going to start off with, obviously, the first Resident Evil, first made in 1996, 3 years before I was even born. So when I was approaching this game to play it, I was kind of nervous because, it's an older game. I wasn't sure if I'd like it. The controls were kind of wonky. But after playing this game and beating it, I believe I've beaten it 4 or 5 times now. I love this game. This game is awesome. It's so cool as someone who got their start later in the series to go back and see how much of the series DNA was already in the first game. And how, so much of what I love about this series was already in it from the start. And yeah, so I wanted to share my thoughts about it today. So first off, I want to talk about the gameplay, and specifically the controls. So as someone who's used to more modern control scheme, I wasn't really a fan of the tank controls at first. However, they did grow on me after a little bit. I feel like it takes some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, it's not that bad. And they actually kind of add tension to the game, specifically when you're trying to weave through the zombies. It's, it can be pretty difficult, but once you learn how to, it's pretty easy. And it also adds kind of more tension during the boss fights, especially at the end when you're trying to run from the tyrant. It's very hard to navigate that. And yeah, so I feel like it just adds a lot more to the game. And so in terms of combat, there's really not much. Basically, you're just trying to run from zombies. You can turn around and shoot them, or you can run up to them when they're on the ground and slice them with your knife. But other than that, there's really not much in terms of gameplay and combat. You can heal with the herbs. And so that now we're going to talk about puzzles. So the puzzles in this game are really fun, especially the ones that required you to run throughout the entire house. I really enjoyed most of the puzzles in this game, except for the one in the gas chamber room. I hate that. There were so many times where the crates were off by just 1 pixel, and so the entire room filled with gas, and I had to go and reset it. But other than that, the puzzles are really fun. I just hated that one. So now we're going to be talking about the 3 main enemies you'll be facing in this game. So the first one is the zombie. These are kind of stereotypical zombies. They're slow moving. If they do manage to grab you, they'll start munching on you. However, you can easily shove them away and just fill them with a couple bullets. They aren't too bad once you get the hang of it. Really, the main thing is don't get grabbed by a bunch of them, or else you're probably gonna die. And next, we're going to be talking about the Cerberus. So these are kind of like zombie dogs, and they're very fast, and they jump at you. The best bet is to just kind of run away from them. And I just want to add, I knew that jump scare was coming. I've seen that scene before, but it still scares me every time. I hate it. I love being scared by it, but yeah. And the last main enemy that you'll be facing are the Hunters. So these guys are wicked fast and barely give you enough time to react. I can't tell you how many times throughout my playthroughs that I've died to them. They are probably the most rage-inducing part of this game, if I'm being totally honest. And so next we're going to be talking about the 3 main bosses of this game. So the first up is Yawn. So Yawn is a giant snake that you fight twice. So Yawn is pretty hard to kill. He'll, slither around, try to bite you. And that's where what I mentioned earlier about the tank controls kind of fight against you in this boss fight, as it's very hard to navigate both, try not to get by him, but also positioning yourself to shoot at him. But overall, I think he's a pretty good boss. The next one is Plant 42. So Plant 42 is actually kind of a puzzle and a boss at the same time. If you want, you can poison the roots by completing a puzzle that you find in the area where Plant 42 is. So that's a pretty fun way to like reward players who explored all of the area. And so the final boss that you're going to be facing is the Tyrant. And this one is pretty hard to kill. I died multiple times with this one. However, if you use powerful weapons, you should work on him. That's what I recommend. And just try to keep moving. Again, this is where the controls come in. You're fighting against both him and the controls at that point. But if you continue to push through it, you'll be able to defeat him. And lastly, I just want to share some of my brief thoughts about the story. So first off, this intro cutscene is awesome. I love it so much. The low quality combined with just the campiness throughout just sets the tone for the entire game going forward. Also, if you want to play this game, I do recommend getting the GOG version on PC because this intro cutscene is fully colored and uncensored. In this game, you either play as Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine, the GOAT, and essentially it's about you escaping the mansion. And in the intro, the members of STARS get trapped in the mansion. And the rest of the game is about you trying to figure out how to get out. And along the way, you'll discover, a conspiracy about Umbrella, as well as figuring out that one of your team may be a traitor. And this all culminates in pretty action-packed ending where, you have to fight through the Umbrella lab and, confront the traitor and eventually confront, the tyrant that they've been building there. The story is a wild ride from beginning to end, and I wholeheartedly recommend this game to anyone who has the simple desire to play it. You will have a great time if you play this game. I've grown to love this game a lot. It's not my favorite Resident Evil, but it's up there. I didn't know where else to put this, but I just wanted to share it with y'all. Did you know that after Barry drops the rope for the first time, if you wait like a couple seconds for him to come back with the rope instead of heading further into the basement, he actually brings you the rope and you can actually skip the entire basement? I did not know that. That is pretty cool. I'm sorry, that I just had to throw that in there. I just want to talk about that. So, my final thoughts on this game. I wholeheartedly recommend this game to anyone who really wants to play it. This game will grow on you as you continue further into it. The puzzles and the combat and everything just culminates into this fun, campy horror game that just impacts you. It's kind of crazy that a game from before I was born has impacted me so much. But please go out and play this game. That's all I can say. This game spawned so many things that I love about video games. And it's just been a wonderful time being able to go back and experience it and just relive what kickstarted this genre in video gaming, the survival horror genre that has impacted me so much personally in these last few years. And that's the video. And thank you for watching. And I hope this wasn't too rough. I'm still getting the hang of this YouTube thing, but I've been wanting to make this series for a long time, and I love this series, and I want to talk about it and share my thoughts about it with y'all. And so thank you for watching, and have a good one.